Well, hey everyone, welcome back to our channel, Living in Fredericksburg, Virginia, where we talk about all things living, working, and playing in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I am Jeff Edmisten.
And I am Ruthie Buck. And today we're going to dive into a topic that is sometimes overlooked a bit when you're moving to the Virginia area. So before we dive into the financial aspects of Virginia, let me just remind you that Jeff and I are local real estate agents, and we would love to hear from you if you have any questions or need any assistance.
Our mission is to help you find a beautiful, perfect home for you, but our expertise goes far beyond that, which is how this channel came to be. We want to share with you everything that we know about living, working, and playing in Fredericksburg, so that your transition here is as smooth and perfect as it can be. And part of that, which you'll find in this video today, is talking about the expenses that you may not have taken into account if you're thinking about moving here.
And at this point, we're going to dive into our first segment, which is car property taxes. Fun times here.
So in Virginia, every year you pay a property tax on your cars, your boats, your different personal property. It's based on the assessed value of the property. So that's something to take into consideration. Some states don't do that. If you're moving to Virginia, anywhere in Virginia, that's going to be the case.
So next, let's talk about the state income tax for Virginia. This operates on a type of progressive income tax system. The range is usually anywhere from about 2% to 5.75%.
So Virginia's tax rate is moderate compared to most other states, but some states don't have income tax at all. So it's important for you to understand that we do have it and for you to budget accordingly. With that in mind, you should take the steps necessary so that you understand your tax liability and get all the potential legal deductions that you can get. So the next thing we're going to talk about is sales tax. There is a Virginia sales tax. That rate, the statewide sales tax, is 4.3%. But in most places there's going to be an added 1% for the local locality. So your effective sales tax rate is going to be 5.3%.
So knowing this, it's pretty essential to be aware of what your specific tax rate is in your area. It can vary significantly the impact for the cost of things that you may be purchasing, whether it may be groceries, clothing. It's just good to be aware of it. So let's not forget about emissions. Not all parts of Virginia test for emissions, but there are certain parts, and it's something you may want to be aware of if moving to the area.
In Fredericksburg, there are no requirements for vehicle emissions tests, but Northern Virginia, Prince William County, Alexandria, Arlington, those areas all require vehicle emissions tests. While the tests themselves are not that expensive, oftentimes there will be needed repairs. So that's just something else you want to be aware of. It's an expense that you may not have where you're coming from, that depending on where you move here, may be something you have to take into consideration. All right, the last section that we're going to talk about today, and as far as expenses, is HOA fees. While that's not something that's unique to Virginia, we have more communities with HOAs in this particular area than a lot of other places in the country. And it is something that people tend to forget to put into their budget when they're moving to a new area. So don't forget about potential homeowners association fees for your new home.
When you're looking at different areas or neighborhoods, the HOA fee is something that you really need to be aware of, because it usually comes as a monthly fee, sometimes yearly on some neighborhoods, but it can vary depending on what type of neighborhood it is, whether it's a 55+ community, whether it's a neighborhood, just a random neighborhood that has colonial style homes. it will depend on the amenities and what's being offered. So that is something that will affect you monthly that you will want to be aware of. There are some of the financial factors when you're considering a move to the Fredericksburg or the Virginia area. We have talked about auto expenses, car taxes, state income tax, sales tax, emissions, HOA fees, all of these different things that can affect your bottom line when moving into this area. So it's something to consider when moving into the Old Dominion state.
Hey, if you found this information useful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel.
And as always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in the comment section. We always look forward to helping you, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.